Happy Wednesday, everybody. This is Amanda here with Miss Megan McKenzie from the city of Ridgecrest today, the Economic Development Analyst.
Yep,
Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Look at me. It's such a professional, I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm going to butcher this.
No, that's perfect. Yeah.
We're coming pre-recorded to you today, right before the city council meeting. So again, city council meeting is open to the public. And it will be at 6 p.m. tonight. I will also link to the City of Ridgecrest YouTube channel for you guys to watch after this. So, how are you today?
I'm great. Thank you for having me, Amanda.
Thank you for being here. So today we're going to talk a little bit about things that are coming, things in the works, some social media. But before we get to all the shop stuff, tell us who you are, what you do, and a fun fact about yourself.
So my name is Megan McKenzie. I was born and raised here. Both my parents were also born and raised here. So I'm very familiar with Ridgecrest, the people in the area. I'm the Economic Development Analyst with the city. So I've been there since May. And basically I wear a lot of different hats. So I'll kind of touch a little bit on some of the projects I'm involved with. And I guess a fun fact about myself is even though I'm from the desert, I love the water. To the point so much that I actually broken my nose at 2 separate occasions messing around in the pool.
What?
So, yeah, recently was last year. So.
Oh, this is like recent.
One was when I was like a young kid, which, kids will be kids. But yeah, last year I don't really have much of an excuse for that one.
That's so funny. So I'm terrified of water. Not terrified. I'll get in a pool. I'll do stuff like that. But I'm more of like frozen water, like give me the snow type of thing.
Okay, that's like my boyfriend. He's all snow, I'm all rain.
Like wakeboarding, you will never probably catch me doing, but I'll snowboard all day.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of wakeboarding either.
So let's go ahead and dive on in.
Okay, yeah, carefully, no broken noses.
Yeah, please no, not today, not today.
That would definitely be newsworthy, but that's not why I'm here.
You guys will be seeing me. I'm like, someone please comment. What do I do? In the days we live in.
No freak accidents today.
So we hope not, at least.
Yes.
I know. So public outreach. So if you guys see me looking down, I actually have a lot of information today for you guys. So please don't ignore, or please don't butcher me for looking at all the notes.
Same.
You actually have so much stuff that I'm excited to share with the community and get some concrete answers, like with all this social media and chit chat of this is what I heard from Ted, who heard it from his neighbor 2 doors down the street.
Right.
So, public outreach. How is the city of Ridgecrest and council trying to reach the community members, and how does social media play a role into that?
So one of the things that the city is really focusing on right now is improving its social outreach. And one of the ways we're doing that is through social media, obviously. Mm-hmm. So we have accounts on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Facebook is our primary account. That's where our largest audience is.
Let me tell you, I'm sorry for cutting you off, but I loved the street sweeper one.
Oh, great. Yeah. Yeah, that was, so I was going to say, if you've been kind of keeping up to tabs, you'll notice in the past couple of months, we've been a lot more active than we have been previously. And so that's something that we want to keep the momentum on. We want to keep building on that consistency and really have people recognize our social media accounts as a source of information. So obviously our main city website is still going to be the main source. If you need to get in touch with anybody from the city, you would go through the website still. But we want to basically build on our social media platforms to have an additional source of information available to the public. And that's a way to get engaged too. We might not answer every comment or question on social media, but we do monitor and we will try and respond when we can.
That's awesome. I think in this day and age, like keeping up, like just like this platform right here, it's a way to get information to people that is keeping up with times. Like I know there's so many times where I'm like scrolling through and I might not go to the City of Ridgecrest website and be like, okay, what road is being paved today?
Exactly.
But if I'm scrolling and it happens to come up like, oh, they're literally paving on my grandmother's street today.
Right. And that's one thing we've really focused on as well as keeping people up to date on what Public Works is doing. We know there's a lot of interest around our roads and we have, a pretty ambitious 5-year pavement rehabilitation plan. I don't know if I almost got tongue-tied there.
We had Travis Reed on here a couple episodes back, and let me tell you, he has so many acronyms and so many things. I was like, whoa. We got to bring you back on just so you can like tell me. And I think we had this joke about like index cards.
Right. Yeah.
And he had like the full plan for like this year and I think part of next year. And I was like, this is so ambitious.
Yeah, there's a lot of work going into our streets improvements projects. So that's one of the things we're trying to keep updated on. And we've been doing weekly road work updates. So just kind of letting people know on our social, like, hey, this is what Public Works is doing this week. This is where they're working. This is the processes they're doing. And I get all that information from Travis. So he's been really great about jumping on the social media outreach. He's responded directly to a lot of questions and comments that have come through. So that has been awesome. And
I'm sure that's helpful.
Super great for me because obviously I'm not an engineer. So I don't understand
Me neither. It's okay.
a lot of the technical things that he's telling me, like you said, with all the acronyms, I just have my little sticky note. I'm just like, okay, cold fill cap sealing. Got it.
Yeah. When he was like saying these things, I'm like, okay, wait. But what does that mean?
Right.
And I feel like there was some chemistry thrown in there and something else. And I'm like,
next question. Right.
So
yeah, it's very, very technical and he does a really good job of trying to explain it, but sometimes it's way over my head personally. But I know for anybody who's, interested in that kind of thing, you can always reach out to our Public Works department. And even though they're busy, from what I can see, that they'll take the time to try and answer any questions.
On the website, every department, you can just go to that and then email them or contact them directly through there, correct?
Yeah, so actually one of the updates we've done to our website as part of our outreach, besides just social media, we're also doing a lot of work on our website, trying to get it up to date, relevant information, and just cleaned up a little bit, easier to navigate.
I was going to say it has a lot of more smooth transition.
We're really trying to get it up to speed.
I don't want to say simple, but it's very clean.
That's what we'd like. Yeah, we want to make it so when you go there, especially on the homepage, some of the general updates we've done, we've added links to report a pothole. So if you go to our main city webpage, you don't have to look for it.
I would hate to manage that one.
But it sends a form directly to our streets division. So it's getting it directly to where it needs to go. And so we've actually had, since that button went up, I haven't checked with Les recently, but when I first checked with them, we had a report go up and it was fixed, I think, either that same day or by the next day.
That's fantastic.
So it is working, and we also put, to go back to your question of who do I contact or something, we have a button now on our website, contact your city representatives. So it opens up a kind of a list of city council members or maybe planning commission, so you can send people, get the message to where it needs to go, kind of cut through some of that process.
Instead of wondering if it's just floating around.
Right. Instead of just sending it into some general kind of catch-all type of thing and then wondering who's going to read it, how long is it going to take for them to get it to the right people before your request is even seen. So that's one of the big things we're working on is just.
That's nice. So real quick, the Facebook page is City of Ridgecrest.
Yes.
And then there's a Parks and Rec page.
Correct.
And I believe a police department page?
Yep. So we have, and they're all part of the city, but since they deal with such specific information, they have their own pages. So the police department page, Parks and Recreation, and then the animal shelter.
Oh, okay.
Has its own page as well.
Oh, I love Mary.
That's probably where we get most of our action is people, looking at pictures of the dogs and sharing and liking and stuff. So it's always good to see.
Oh, that makes me happy though, at least.
Yeah, it is. It's good.
What is the Instagram and Twitter handles, names? I feel like I should know that better.
So our Twitter is city_Ridgecrest handle. And then our Instagram is City of Ridgecrest.
Okay, good to know.
And they should all be linked on our website, and our Facebook page should have links to our other platforms as well.
And when this airs, I'll definitely be sure to link for everyone so they have ease of access.
That'd be great. Yeah, we're trying to get people to definitely, because I think our police department page is obviously where we get most of our followers. I think, we have 10 to 15,000 people that follow that page compared to 2,000 or so that follow our city page. So we're trying to get people to.
There was a good jump in followers back when, I don't know who it was or which sergeant, but they had some ongoing funny report of the police logs. And I think there was a lost pig or something one day that they had in their office. And I was like, this is hilarious. Our police department is actually funny.
Right. Yeah.
So another form of communication I wanted to ask you about is Nixle.
Okay, yeah. So Nixle is it's a community notification system that we partnered with the City of Ridgecrest and the police department, partnered with Nixle following the 2019 earthquakes.
Okay.
And what it does is it provides a free service to our residents that gives them up-to-date, localized advisory notices, things like air quality alerts or wind advisories, excessive heat warnings, flash flood, anything that could be considered a need to know, hey, this is happening in your area, it'll just send you a little text message on your phone, and it's pretty easy to register. And once you register, you can create an account and actually go through and manage your notifications if you'd like. So you're not getting,
constant wind updates during the fall or fair weekend.
So I know I signed up. I didn't even know that this was a service until I started managing our social media sites, and I saw it and I was like, well, this is really cool. Like,
so our team here at Desert Valleys just found out about it the other week. So we had a police officer in doing some training with us, and he brought up Nixle, and all of us were like, what? He's like, a lot of you are looking like deer in the headlights. We're like, what is this?
Right. And I don't think a whole lot of people might know about it because, like I said, I hadn't had any clue about it until now. So it's definitely a pretty interesting service. And
you sign up through the website?
You can go to the website if you go under our police department page, and you just scroll to the bottom. There's a little widget on the bottom left. Okay. You can just put your phone number and information in, and it'll sign you up to receive those updates.
So easy.
Yes, it's really easy. There's also a text messaging option as well, which I think we talked about. You can provide that information.
Okay.
I'll give that to you after the show.
And then website updates.
Yes, so I mentioned some of the kind of homepage improvements we've been doing with those buttons that just link directly to report a pothole or contact your city representatives. We've also been doing individual updates on specific pages. So just as an example, our business license page was recently updated. It just makes it a lot easier to go through and understand the process. It outlines the steps. It has the documents that are required, frequently asked questions, links to relevant, resources. So it just makes the whole process a lot more streamlined and easier. And so that's kind of a good example of what we're hoping to do with most of all of our pages, in the future. It's obviously an ongoing process. It's not going to happen overnight, but we're slowly chipping away at it and just, making little improvements here and there. So
we're currently undertaking a website reface ourselves, which has ended up in my lap. Right. Oh, it is so much to go through. It's
a lot. And I was never very techie. I can, do reprogram a VCR, that kind of basic stuff. But when it comes to, hey, get in here and, live edit this website and just take the modules and the widgets and it's overwhelming, but it's actually not as scary once you get into it. And I've had a lot of help from our consultant, Jennifer Ricketts. She's been really great with helping us with the website design and our social media, some of the design and graphics like that street sweeper video. She does all of that all that fun stuff.
Is there a name for the new street sweeper?
So we decided on our top 3. Okay. So we did put out the announcement. There's
I'm totally going off topic here and going off the fly.
It's okay. That's what this is for, because we do have these kind of fun stuff that we're, trying to engage, not just, here's all this information. Yeah. But hey, we really want the community to feel like a community where we're connected and we have these fun things and events and such. So we did just announce the top 3 winners. We have Broom Shakalaka.
Stop it.
Yes, that was the most popular from our poll. We also had Dusty Roads.
Okay.
And then the third one is, we actually debated with this going back and forth for a while because it didn't make it through the top 10 originally. And there was a lot of kind of blowback. And so we went back and reevaluated, and we decided that Sweepy McSweepface had enough public support that it earned its spot in the top 3.
There we go. There we go. I know I came in late to the game. I came in I think maybe 2 days or 3 days before it closed, and I was like, dang it. Right. So, but I was reading through a lot of them, and I was like, people are clever.
There were some really good submissions, and we're really happy that there was that amount of participation.
And I saw some families were getting their kids involved too.
Yeah, it was really cool. And it was the first something like this we've done. So it was a learning process for us, for sure. So we appreciate everybody kind of being patient with us as we've kind of figured out what works and what doesn't.
I'm sure it was a lot of comments to filter through.
It was a lot. And then we had to kind of consider, okay, what qualifies as possible copyright infringement? We don't want to, cross into that territory at all. So we kind of had to use our judgment here and there and then kind of figure it out as we were going along, so to speak. And I think, it turned out good, but we definitely, next time we do something, we have a lot more experience now to build on, which is great.
So will the street sweepers have their names on them.
Yes, it's actually going to be awesome. So one of the reasons we released the announcement now, but we haven't followed up with that photo, which we are going to do a photo shoot with the winners and their sweeper. But we have Travis suggested that we get designs printed that represent each. So they will be wearing their name. And that'll be pretty cool. So once we get that all printed out, Jennifer's put some designs together, and we'll just, it's a matter of just that process of getting it done.
I love that.
I'm really excited about it. I think it's kind of fun, and you'll get to see the sweepers out on their routes and see, oh my gosh, there's Sweepy McSweetface. I named that or something.
I know. Like I can't wait to see people be like, there's my street sweeper.
Right. Yeah. It's just like a little fun thing. It's not.
But it gets the community engaged.
Right.
And
we need those kind of fun things. It can't just all be super high, controversial, go all the time. It's nice to take a minute and remember, hey, it's supposed to, we live here, we work here, we play here, but let's keep it.
Let's have some fun.
We're
all
still.
human.
Exactly.
And we all need a little laugh.
Lighten up here and there, right?
I don't know if you noticed walking in here, that's a huge thing here. There's lots of Star Wars figurines everywhere. Like
that doesn't
Legos
surprise me.
and toys. And not all of them belong to children. Mayor Bruin. But no, we like to have fun too. And so it's nice to feel that in our community and be part of a city that does that as well. Right. So keeping up with communication efforts, what is the Ridgecrest Community Conversation? There was a recent survey that Ridgecrest residents participated in. And last month I did a quick quip on it for our DV Live City Talk. We had a member movie night, and so I wasn't recording in here. But what is the survey and the community conversation?
Okay, I'm glad you asked, because this is kind of a big focus of their outreach efforts. So this is kind of
a jumping off and the council's communication.
So it's basically, the initial survey was released in April of 2021.
Okay.
So that basically was serving as a jumping off point to just get the conversation going. There were 500 participants in that survey, which is obviously not, it's a small group. It's, statistically it's okay, but
for a new one, for a first time run of something.
For a baseline, just initial kind of preliminary survey. So what they did was they went over, I think it was a series of phone calls, phone interviews, and they went over different city services and sort of asked people to identify their priorities. And from that initial survey, they pulled the top 5 priorities according to our residents.
For a phone call, though, I'm amazed that you guys got 500 people and they just didn't hang up and be like, spam call.
Right. And it was a little before I was brought on to my role. So, I mean, I'm not sure how they, determined who they called or if it was random, or I assume it was. But I mean, 500 participants. Okay. We would love to get all of our residents to participate in this follow-up survey that we've released.
Okay.
So the follow-up survey, it's about a 2-minute survey, and it basically takes those top 5 priorities, which I'll list really fast just for reference.
Okay.
So the initial top 5 priorities that were identified in that initial survey were maintaining 911 emergency response times, maintaining emergency medical response, continuing city street and pothole repair, maintaining Ridgecrest fire services and keeping both fire stations open full time. And the last was maintaining programs to improve the local economy and job creation.
Okay.
So those were the 5 that were pulled out from that initial survey. And in this follow-up survey, we asked people to take those 5 and rank them in order of their priority.
Oh, okay.
And we recognize that not everybody's going to agree with those as a top 5. And so we have a write-in option where people can put anything. They can write paragraphs if they would like to. We've had some people do it already, and it's great. We want that input.
Here's my full dissertation.
Yes, and we want to hear whatever people have to say. So it's just a really unique opportunity to basically have a free forum to say, whatever you want to the city representatives. I mean, please be respectful, but
I was like, oh, that's an open door. I'm glad I don't manage that email.
Right. So it's, we ask people to be respectful, but you can if you have questions, if you have comments, if you want to, talk about a concern or a city service that you feel is a priority that you didn't see identified on that list and you want to bring it up to our attention, that's your opportunity. And that's really where we want people to get involved and say anything that they have, because we do read these responses and well,
it's nice to have eyes and ears that are out there.
Right.
So, I mean, when we have our pool of, hey, we all work here, here's our concerns, here's what we see, but there might be something else that just gets surpassed.
Right. And we do ask, if there's any kind of community groups that you're a part of. We've been offering to do presentations to different community groups if they want a little bit more information on what is the community conversation, what do you want from us, why don't understand, any questions, that kind of thing. So we're offering those. We're scheduling them right now. So
that's nice.
Anybody if you have a community group who's interested and they want to set something up, they can contact me and I can make that happen.
And they can find your contact information on the website.
They can, right?
What about this follow-up survey? Is that on the website as well?
It is. So one of the links we added to our homepage, it's right there with all the agendas, virtually join meetings. It's on the far right, a little box. It says, join the Ridgecrest Community Conversation. If you click that, it'll take you to a web page that has an overview of what it is. And then it explains that initial survey. It actually has the slide deck from that initial survey. So it shows the data that was pulled and gathered and kind of breaks it down into graphs. And so you can look at it for yourself.
I'm a nerd and I really like graphs and charts and everything.
And some people, they want to see the data. I totally get that. So we have that all up there for people to review. And then it has a link to take the new survey.
Okay.
So then that will take you out of the city website to a different page, but it takes about 2 minutes. It's really quick, depending on how much you have to say.
Obviously. I was gonna say, that's not bad. Like if you're just going in there and if it's one of these top 5 priorities and you just pick one, it's obviously quick.
Yeah, you don't even have to pick it. I think it lets you do like a drag and drop so you can move them around.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So I wonder, because I live in county. I live just outside of Bowman. Mm-hmm. So I'm like,
you could still do the survey. It's not limited.
Because I am City of Ridgecrest, my address.
And it's not limited to city residents. Anybody who anybody in the surrounding area who uses our services is more than welcome to take the survey. We do one of the questions. It asks for your name and your address. Those are both optional. Nobody has to put them in. It's just a way for us to kind of see where our data is coming from.
That's nice to know.
But if you wanted to do it anonymously, you could. There's no limits on that. We just want to get people involved.
I'll be sure to do that, and then I'll drop it in the comments. Be like, guys, this is super easy. Right. I literally did this faster than I can make a cup of coffee.
And we definitely want people to share it because we've been trying to get the word out. We had a message up on that Chamber of Commerce e-board. We've been trying to send out letters to people who are maybe community opinion leaders or setting up different presentations, as I mentioned. So. If anybody hears about it and can, share it, send the link, anything like that. Right now, as of the last time I checked, we had less than 200 participants in this new survey.
Oh, wow.
And it's been up since the beginning of July.
Wow, that's a significant drop.
Right. So you would think that if 500 seems like a small sample, 200 is even smaller.
So I'll be sure to link to it then in the comments for when this posts.
Yeah, that would be great. So the more people we get input from, the more we have to use as a decision-making basis. So
Interesting. Y'all get on there. Come on, y'all scrolling right now. So how long will the survey be available though?
So this survey, it should be available through the end of October.
Okay.
Potentially maybe even longer. I can't say that for certain, but I know it will be up at least through October.
I mean, if between now and October it just only bumps up to like 2:30, I could definitely see you guys leaving it open longer. And why?
Right. So, and we're continuing. Obviously, this is a great opportunity to get the word out about it. So any kind of outreach we can do saying, hey, you guys, we want to hear from you. We really do.
We really do want to hear your words.
Yeah, it's just the more input we get from the wider range of people, it just gives us a better idea of where people sit as a whole. We have a lot of people who don't participate a lot because they're
and it might be
fine, they're content or
like different demographics. What's important to me might be different than what's important to my Mimi or something.
Right. Yeah.
So, alrighty. So what about economic development and your position there? Starting hopefully update on the citywide installation. You got fiber coming. We've talked about that a couple times on a few other episodes. So if you briefly want to give us maybe
yes, I don't, like I said,
status update.
Not a huge on the technical side of things. I've had it explained to me a bunch, but they will be installing fiber optic technology within the Ridgecrest limits. Mm-hmm. So that'll mean more high-speed internet options for the residents.
For anyone watching, if you want to know more on that and more technical, again, our Travis Reed episode, and I believe one of my other budget update episodes with Mayor Bruin has the information on fiber.
Okay, yeah. I do have a bit of a timeline. So let me see.
I literally compared it to tortoise internet speeds to Sonic the Hedgehog. So that's as technical as I get.
It is true. I mean, they also call gig speed internet ultra high speed internet. So it gives you an idea. It is just ridiculously fast. I mean, if you'd like some numbers, it's...
Well, I mean, I think it's good for people that are still working from home. I can see that. And then the connectivity of fiber. We run on fiber here at the branch, and it is nice. Like things go down, but we constantly have something going on, and it's so fast.
Right. And it's supposed to be good for upload speeds as well, too, which is more and more people work from home is also becoming more and more important. So
like a lot of the videos like these that we do and uploading them to our YouTube account, things like that, or whenever I need a previous episode, so much faster.
Yeah. And that's time, right? Time is money. So it's nice to have that capability to go faster. And it's just another option for services. It's not like anybody's going to be forced to,
You have to have this.
Right. So if you're fine with what you have, there's no need to worry. But
unfortunately, I did find out with that episode with Travis that I will not be having that at this first initial run. And I was really sad. Oh, because I live in county.
Yeah. That's just a little bit of a logistical.
It's fine. We like our slow life out there with my chickens.
Oh, nice. I want to get chickens. Very jealous.
Let me tell you, they're rough. They're a lot.
Got personality, so much personality.
They do. I ended up with one rooster also, and he tries to like battle with my toddler. Oh. And I'm always like, you're the human and you're a little bit taller than him, so you should win. But I really think my rooster's gonna win.
Yeah, roosters are pretty vicious, and I mean, same with geese, right? I mean, who hasn't been chased by a goose?
When I was a kid, I got chased by an ostrich.
Oh gosh, you win. That's
fun fact.
That's
Here's a fun fact.
Yeah, seriously, that trumps goose.
So I lived in Ridgecrest as a kid, and I used to ride dirt bikes. And I remember I was like 5 or 6, and our neighbors across the way, when I was out riding on a dirt bike somewhere or something, apparently their ostrich fence blew down or broke down. Something happened, and there was this loose ostrich. Mind you, this is coming from my mom later on telling me, so I don't know.
Maybe is it in Ridgecrest?
In Ridgecrest.
Wow.
Right down Brown Road, fun times. Yeah, I got chased by an ostrich.
I think your fun fact is more fun.
No, it is way terrifying. Awesome. I was like, this is really happening right now?
I mean, they're like dinosaurs.
Yes, they are. And they're big and like oddly fluffy and jello-y.
Right. And I've heard ostriches actually fall in love sometimes with humans and try and court them. Like they're with their handlers.
No.
Yeah.
Don't birds like peck at each other? Like they try to like fight?
I don't know. They do. I think ostriches do like a dance. Like a lot of birds, how they're like the males are like doing their little
and they're like up
their
down,
fan like dance and all
like a peacock.
Mm-hmm. Yep, just shaking their tail feathers.
Oh, that's where that song came from. I'm literally probably gonna Google how does an ostrich court each other.
Maybe you'll find out the ostrich was just trying to court you.
Terrifying.
Even worse, right?
I'm like, what? No.
Don't think it makes it better.
No, never going to own an ostrich ever in my life. I don't even know. I think I saw one of my friends on Facebook just got emus.
Okay.
Which also look like the cross between a dinosaur and a pigeon.
Yes.
And I was like, no, I'll stick to my chickens who are finally laying eggs. So if you ever want eggs, I probably will have 1 million soon.
Okay.
So back to work, I guess. That's why we're all here, right? Talking city.
Sorry.
What about, since we're talking about development, what new establishments or projects are confirmed? There's a lot of gossip in town like, oh, Panda's coming. It's supposed to be here tomorrow. Why isn't it here? Coffee. And it's like, what can you tell us that gives us a little bit more of a streamline, not concrete set in stone, but helps us out?
Right. So for Panda, they are on track. They should be opening in end of September 2021. So
amazing.
Really quickly.
All the orange chicken.
Yes. So that'll be kind of fun. And then we also have, obviously, in our Oasis development area, the Chipotle and the Starbucks.
And that is over on Raider. Is it Raider? Across from the old bowling alley.
Yes, exactly.
Right. Okay.
And so those are on track. They're still in the beginning phases of construction. So the reason Panda is a little bit farther ahead than them is that pad was actually already developed.
Thank you,
by the
Walmart.
Super Walmart. Yes. So they got a bit of a jump start on their construction, but everything's moving along. Dutch Brothers is getting ready to break ground next to Beverage in the next couple weeks.
I actually saw this morning on the way into work the fence that's put up.
Yep.
So I was like, whoa, look at that. It's finally there. Like, my husband thinks I'm crazy. He's like, Amanda, Dutch Brothers is not coming here. And I was like, yes, it is.
it has gone through all the necessary steps. So they're ready to break ground, and that should be coming in the next week or so. So you'll see a lot more activity over there.
So I know there's a lot of controversy with everyone. Like, we don't need another coffee shop. We need this. But honestly, like, have y'all seen the line for Starbucks now that it's pumpkin spice season?
Right.
Like, that is insane. I think one of my friends, no, my sister-in-law was like, it was like 25 minutes the other day. I was like, you wasted half an hour for a coffee that tastes like a pumpkin? And she's like, Amanda. And I'm like, what? So I'm all for the addition of coffee.
Yeah. And it'll be Dutch Brothers will be a little bit different. I think it's more of a Northern California or Northern Oregon, that kind of thing. But it's moving its way down.
Heard like a Washington.
Yeah.
Washington?
I think the first one I ever went to was in Oregon on my way up there. And that was the first time I had ever seen it. It was like up in the north.
So I've been through one in Arizona, in Phoenix. And it was only, I think, like a single lane, maybe a double lane. And I was like, okay, this is pretty good. I really like their iced coffee. Right. I had a hot coffee, and then, don't judge me, I went back probably the same day and got like an iced coffee. And I was like, okay, this is decent. I mean, I also drink just plain black coffee all day long, but I'm all for it. So, and I'm all for variety too.
Right. It'll be just something different. And
it'll be nice for you with your office right there, close to it.
It will be nice. And it actually kind of segues nicely into one of the only other projected developments that I can really confirm right now is at Beverage. It's actually, KFC has actually just put an application in. It's going to be going to our planning commission next month. So that, barring any unforeseen circumstances or how things go, but they have their applications in. So I would say it's safe to say they're going ahead with it.
So that's funny because, once again, from the Facebook rumor mill, a couple of weeks ago, people were like, what is this? And they found like job postings for a KFC. And so now that you bring that up, hopefully maybe sometime soon we'll be able to go get some fried chicken.
Right.
They're biscuits.
Right. Because I remember we used to have one when I was in high school.
Where
Albert Tacos is.
Yes. So
now it's going to be across the street from its old place.
That's so funny. So will it be in conjunction to Beverage, or
I don't
will it be
believe so.
Somewhere in like new building in there?
I believe they'll be taking over the Beverage building.
Okay. That'll be interesting to pay attention and keep up on.
So anybody who's interested in kind of staying up to date on that, our planning commission meetings are a great kind of resource to keep an eye on.
Okay. When are planning commission meetings?
I believe that they are the first Tuesday of each month. I could be wrong on that. I've got a bunch of different dates that I kind of keep rattling around in here.
Literally the only city meeting I know is the council meeting. I always have to check the website.
Right. And sometimes I flop them around in my head, but I want to say it's definitely on Tuesday, and I think it's the first, but I can get back with you on that.
No worries. And I mean, again, everyone check out the City of Ridgecrest website for the planning commission.
Right. And we have on our social media, one of the things we've been trying to do with our outreach is, put updates like, hey guys, city council meeting tonight, or there's a planning commission meeting tonight or tomorrow. So we're trying to put those out there as well, because we realize that, people are busy and it might not be easy to just say, it's the third Tuesday of the month, I better get ready.
I should go.
Yeah.
Like I know all the time.
Right. Like I doubt most people have it scheduled in to their calendars.
Open to the public then to attend?
Yes, we encourage anybody to who's interested in any of our committees, whether it's parks, recreation, quality of life, or economic development, to attend to our committee meetings. They're open to the public, either in person, and I think most of them are also offered virtually.
Okay, so anything else coming up for possibilities for something new businesses?
So we're getting ready. What the Economic Development Committee is in the process of doing right now is we're working on developing our strategic outreach.
Okay.
It's called Integrating Commerce, Serving Communities. They just changed their branding.
Okay.
So ICSC, I think it used to stand for
Once again, all
shopping
the acronyms.
centers. Right. So they just rechanged their branding to stand for, because they wanted to be seen as more than just shopping centers. It's kind of what it is. The ICSC conference is a huge event for marketing industry representatives to mingle. It's kind of a big meet and greet networking opportunity.
Okay.
So for potential businesses to meet with potential clients, so to speak. So one of the things that we're working on as the Economic Development Committee is putting together a strategy. So when we go to this conference, we'll kind of be able to hit the ground running, kind of have some ideas of who we want to talk to in mind, and really.
That makes sense, like who you want to go after and try and bring into the community.
Right. And even,
who
even
you want to court with your dance.
Exactly, with our ostrich dance. So we're putting together our ostrich dance, so to speak, to do at the conference and see who we can kind of attract. We've done a market insight analysis to sort of identify where our gaps are in terms of retail. And there's a lot of things that go into this, which I'm still learning about as of now. With this, because it's great, because obviously before I got this position, I was very similar, like, well, why don't we get this? Why don't we get that?
Yeah.
And I love hearing everybody's ideas, but then sometimes you just hit that wall where it's like, well, this place will not come here because we are, X amount of miles away from their distribution center, or, these little things like that you might not think of, but that's what they're using as their requirements.
Or like we're so far away from like a busy freeway or
exactly.
interstate.
Little things like that make a big impact. Right, exactly. Like, so even though we'd love to be able to just go out and say, hey, we want this business, and this business, and just come back and say, here you go. Unfortunately, we really have to woo them and show them that Ridgecrest is a viable
I feel like
option.
that would take like a little bit of the glimmer. I don't want to say glamour, but glamour away from
razzle dazzle.
Yeah, like whenever I go out of town and I'm like, oh, I need to go to In-N-Out.
Right.
Like my husband hates it. He's like, it's not that good, Amanda. And I was like,
but it's special, right?
Don't care. Don't care. We're going through there. I guess, okay, that's equivalent to me talking about Starbucks. I'll wait half an hour for a burger and fries. But yeah, like I'm sure it's interesting in your position to hear like, this is why it can't come here. It's not just picking and choosing or we're a rural community and they don't want to be in the Dust Bowl. Right.
Basically, we have to be able to show them that they'll be able to make money, essentially, right? That nobody's going to open a store that isn't going to succeed. So
you got to turn a profit.
Right. So that's kind of the challenge, is figuring out who would be a good fit, what kind of properties do we have available, or, potential for building or whatnot. So we'd really like, well, especially me, I'd love if we could, get some of those older buildings filled.
Yeah.
Right. And I know that's like,
I think that's everybody's wishes, like Kmart.
Right.
We already have these pre-established buildings.
And they're just sitting there empty. And obviously I'm aware of that. And that's something that's always bothered me as a kid even. It's like, why are they building new buildings when there's all these empty buildings? Mm-hmm. And so I get it. Sometimes it's tough, but
Well, it was nice to see the previous Walmart.
Right, the storage unit going in there.
And now the previous Staples building, which I think has been empty since I was in high school or just after. I was like, what is going on? So that's nice to see that they are slowly getting there.
Right. So, that's something that I'm definitely interested in doing. I can't, make it happen like snap, but I would love to be able to focus on trying to fill those buildings. And it's just a matter of finding the right person.
Yeah. It sounds like even our community, you need to have the right personality and fit come in to want to establish and set up here.
Right. And they need to kind of understand. Ridgecrest is a kind of a unique area, right? We've got China Lake, and you've got, you're so close to so many different things. And it's just a lot of people who are, who haven't grown up here. It's a different
it's
scene.
A whole different beast. Right? It really is. Like, I love hearing other people be like, how do you make it there? And it's like, if you haven't grown up here, you just do. It's just Ridgecrest. It's how it is. And you love it. You hate it. You move away. You come back.
Right.
I'm so guilty of that.
Oh, me too. Me too.
So as we wrap up things, can residents listen in or attend the Economic Development Committee meetings? I know we briefly touched on that before.
Yeah, they can. And I can tell you with certainty, I know when the Economic Development Committee meetings are.
Okay.
So those are going to be the second Wednesday of the month, 5:00 p.m.
Oh, okay.
And they're held in the same place as City Council, so just in the council chambers at City Hall. And if for some reason we can't hold it in there, we'll have a sign directing, anybody who's looking that where we actually will be.
Okay, so 1 week from when this airs will be your next one.
Correct.
Okay, so
That'd be the
8th. It's the 8th.
Okay.
So the 6th is Monday and we're closed. Tuesday's the 7th and then the 8th.
Perfect. I don't know why that doesn't sound right to me now. I could be overthinking it.
Let's just look. We're going to take a quick little...
Yeah, I was like, now I'm curious. Like,
No. So, but it is the second Wednesday of the month.
Right.
Okay. We're going to do this real quick briefly here, and I'll also confirm in the comments for you guys. Yeah, September 8th.
Are you showing?
8th? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So September 8th, we are good at 5:00
Yep.
in City Council chambers.
Yeah, that's correct.
There we go. We got it all together, guys. See?
And then there is a way, if you want to virtually attend those meetings, the homepage, there's a link.
Oh, okay.
And it's you just click on that and go to whichever committee meeting you're looking for.
That makes it so much easier.
And there is that information on the agenda as well. So our agendas are released prior to our meetings. They can find them, again, on that main homepage. There's a button that says agendas.
Okay.
You click on that and you should be able to look at agendas for any kind of meeting.
So is that the virtual one? Is it real time? Is there a way for them to ask questions, call in?
Yeah, they should be able to call in and ask questions real time. I don't believe the economic development committees are recorded for viewing later, but they are able to view live.
Good to know. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here and giving me little fun facts about birds.
Yes, I didn't expect to digress about ostriches and emus and stuff, but
hey, that's what this is all about. Thank you all for being here today. Again, we have the City of Ridgecrest City Council meeting at 6:00 tonight, and I will drop a YouTube link in there, or if you have nothing going on and want something to do, head on down to the council chambers. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for that.